I believe we are live. At least it says so. The only thing it doesn't show is on my YouTube screen. But that's always late.
Oh, here we go.
There we are. All right.
Live!
Excellent. We're live. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully more will join us later. Once again, I am surrounded with great people here that make me look a lot better. So first, I'd like to introduce Nerd Wonders here, right?
Hello. Yes. It's good to
Commonly
be here.
known for being online and nice to almost everybody, unless they rub you the wrong way for too long. But always you're out there to extend somebody kindness into this. Well, I don't know what we call it, the nerd genre or what.
That's a good name for it.
And of course, we have another amazing, special, tremendous guest here, Peter Simeti. Hello.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you for having me on. It was a blast last time, so I'm glad we could do this again.
We're happy to have you.
Absolutely. You're always so fun. I love the positivity, the knowledge of the industry, the ideas you have. Just absolutely amazing. You're a force to be reckoned with in this.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And
you guys are too kind.
On top of all that, what you've been doing, and you spend massive hours with this, now you're doing a lot of YouTube too. So you're investing a lot of time that way as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of been fun. It's been like a digital book tour. From the comfort and safety of your own home. It's been interesting. It's this whole thing of YouTube. It makes me sound like I'm much older than I am, but it's getting used to it. And going from show to show and talking to people and seeing people in the chat as well and staying in touch with everyone. It's interesting. It's something we couldn't do even when Alterna started 13, 14 years ago. This wasn't really going to be a possibility, but now it is.
Amazing how technology has changed.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. I love everything that you're doing, Peter.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And not only, just the normal stuff, but we have something special going on now.
Yes, right? We do. We've got AlternaWeen going on right now, and it's a lot of fun. Last year we had it, and it was great. Something like 15,000 comics went out to be used as trick-or-treats or donated to a children's hospital or a school or a library. And now this year we're at it again. And so far we're up to now about 5,000 comics to be used as trick-or-treats and about 1,000 to be donated to a children's hospital. So that's been great. And we still got 5 days. Well, I guess 4 days, close to 4 days left. Mm-hmm. It ends on the 31st. And we got a lot to do so far. So I mean, it's been a blast just seeing people get really excited about it and seeing people getting into the Halloween spirit a little bit early. And I'm just looking forward to getting all the comics out there again and seeing all the pictures again with the trick-or-treaters and their comics. That was great last year.
Heck yeah, I am looking forward to grabbing mine this Friday.
Thank you.
No problem. I'm gonna get definitely the kids pack.
Yeah.
So anyway, AlternaWeen 2 is the second year you've done it. It was a massive success the first year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was something like close to 500 backers and about $17,000 raised. And this year it's a little bit over $6,000 so far and close to 200 backers. I think that's going to go up to 250, maybe even 300 by the time it's all said and done. It's not going in demand. It's ending on the 31st because we got to get everything out. And I'm thinking it's going to hit anywhere between 7,500 to 8,000. And the reason why I'm not even disappointed either that it didn't raise as much as last year is because earlier in the year we had an expansion campaign that was very similar. And a lot of people stocked up on AlternaWeen stuff at that point too. Because I didn't know if we could do AlternaWeen again this year. I figured, well, let's do this campaign. Let's have it kind of like AlternaWeen and set it up similar. So just in case we couldn't do it, people still got their bundles. And that campaign was like almost 250 backers, almost $9,000 raised. So between both campaigns, it's basically on par with what AlternaWeen did last year. So I'm happy.
For everybody, if you didn't know, I have it right up there on the screen. Hopefully my screen share is working for that.
Yeah, it's showing.
Good. It says 6,172 USD, 183 backers so far. You're at 123% so far of your $5,000 fixed goal. Awesome. Only 4 days left though, so we gotta get some more people to check this out.
Yeah, don't miss out. Don't miss out.
this is great to buy for stuffing into kids' bags instead of candy. Let's not rot their teeth and send them to the dentist, because trust me, that cost a lot of money. I just got done paying for 2 cavities for little Frugal. So,
Yeah, don't rot the teeth. Instead, inspire the mind. Encourage the imagination. Comic books are great, especially for kids.
Yeah, and what kid wouldn't want this in their like a trick or treat bag? You can get sweeties and whatever else, and Tootsie Rolls and Kit Kat bars from everybody else, but you don't get comics.
right.
No, yeah, you definitely don't.
And there are so many amazing ones that they can get. For example, I know my kids love Mr. Crypt. They absolutely do. We don't have the Bear and Mouse one yet. Still have to get Bear and Mouse. Psycho KO, they absolutely love that as well. So
yeah, we've got the new Mr. Crypt and Baron Rat coming out. Should be next week if everything's good to go. It should have been out about a month ago, but so many things occurred with that shipment. It's unfortunate.
Understandable, yeah.
Things happen. They also loved the actual Roger. They really enjoyed that as well.
That's a fun one.
We haven't read Adam Wreck yet. We still have it. That's on our list to read. And for the people that don't know, Little Frugal and I, we read them together, and after that we buy a bunch of them and we give them away. So Little Frugal's given away over 100 of them at his school. So cool. And I mean, if he goes to a birthday party or anything too, he brings loads of comics. This Halloween, what we're going to do is not only just trick or treating, he's going to be bringing a backpack full of comic books. And so
that's great.
Other kids are going to be getting some other ones that are good too. So we have to read that Adam Wreck before Halloween hits. By the way, another one that wasn't listed as necessarily all ages was what is it? There's the one where the stuffed animals are alive and protecting them.
Oh, that was last year. Was Fear Diaries last year? Yeah.
Yeah, Fear Diaries. Okay, I'm going to read that with Little Frugal because I read it ahead of time, and I don't think that's bad for kids. I think he can handle it.
Yeah, it's an all ages book. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize it was all ages. So.
Yep.
Shame on me.
I can't blame you with a name like that.
We've got a lot of books. I can barely keep track at this point, so don't worry about it.
But once again, this was a great way to get a lot of great comics, great stuff, at great price points, awesome different perks. I'm sure we'll talk about that some. So, is there any awesome new books coming out besides the ones you just mentioned, or you can tell us a little bit about those?
Well, we've got Mighty Mascots coming out soon. Number 3 is going to be out in a couple of weeks, but we also have that coming out in November as a giant, and that's going to be part of our new Giants lineup, which is in addition to the $1.50, 99-cent, $1.99 comics we already have. The Giants are going to be 80-plus pagers at $4.99 a piece, and it's going to be kind of a no-frills graphic novel, just a really thick issue on newsprint. And so for Mighty Mascots, the Giant in November, that's going to be Mighty Mascots 1, 2, and 3. So you get that whole story, that whole first arc.
Oh, dude!
Yeah, and it's going to have a nice original cover there, so you get something cool and fun too with that. And then in December, we're going to have Blood Realm Volume 1, and that's going to be the first 3 issues of the first volume of Blood Realm. And then December, in January, we'll also have Volume 2 with the debut of Blood Realm Volume 3, number 1. So we're doing all kinds of things at Alterna every single month too with the Giants. It's going to be one special book every single month, and we're going to have something fun too for next year, incorporating the Giants. But I'm not going to say anything about that just yet.
Now, I will have to admit and own up to this. I did a review of Blood Realm, the first one, and I really didn't care for it very much.
Yeah, you have some history with Blood Realm.
Yes, and. I didn't bash it or anything. It's just I didn't really care for it very much. I don't know what it was.
For you.
It didn't appeal to me, right? And then other people of my followers, or whatever you want to call them, I call them friends and things. They said, "Hey, you got to give issue 2 a chance. Just keep reading it. It's better if you read it all the way through." And they were absolutely right, and I was 100% wrong. I then read the other. It's like, okay, I like this now. And by the time I got through, it's like this is definitely a good read, especially back to back to back. Then I really liked it. So I was wrong. I made a video of that. I had to admit it.
Well, and if you recall too, I thank you for still talking to me, because if you recall, after you gave us that awful review, I said all horrible things to you. I cursed you out. I said horrendous things about you and your personal.
He blew up my mailbox.
The classic professional way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you were absolutely.
I made you just feel the worst. And I told everybody else about how awful you are. I said, this Captain Frugal guy, he didn't like this book. He didn't like this. Something must be wrong with this guy. I think he might be one of those bad people that you see on the internet.
That's right. But I was 100%.
I wonder if anyone's aware that I'm joking.
So glad ever a bit more of a chance. Absolutely 100% professional there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was. I did it. I really turned around in my view from that. She was all kicked in gear and went really well. And I really liked the art style and everything, made more sense and that. So I really put my foot in my mouth on that one. That was great.
Well, that's the fun part about all of this, right? Is when there's something. Yeah, when there's something you don't necessarily maybe like the first time around, because the comics are also so affordable, you can go, I'm on the fence about this one, $1.50, I'll give it a shot still for the second issue. Let's see if they can, get me back into this. Whereas if the comic's $5 or $6 a piece, let's say, is that really a gamble you want to take? So if you're on the fence about something, you may or may not give that thing a shot, and more than likely you won't. But when it's so affordable, you could just go, I'll try it out. And if I don't like it, okay, I'll move on. So you can give it that little bit of a leeway there. And $1.50, you're never going to sit there and go, oh man, this is a complete waste of money, and all this stuff. I didn't like it. I got ripped off. And Alterna, we always try to give more of a value to people. And something like that with Blood Realm, if you didn't end up liking issue 2, you look at that and go, well, I got 2 issues for $3. So can't really complain. That was less than the cost of trying out 1 issue at anybody else.
I will say Little Frugal's been having and same with me, the ones I give away too, have been having a great return response from people on that. And for example, the kids are bringing those comics to school and talking about them, sharing them with their friends.
Aww.
And things like that, and asking them, hey, do you have any more? So we've gone back and bought more, and then brought in like issue 2s, because we try to give out issue 1s. But one thing I found interesting, I've seen this in a Twitter feed. I think it was on yours, Peter. And this is one of the great things too. A lot of these series, you could pick up an issue 2 or issue 3, and for the most part, you're still perfectly fine. You're not lost. Like a Psycho KO, Mr. Crypt, and things. It doesn't matter if you have issue 1, 2, or 3. You can enjoy it no matter what issue number it is.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's so fun too about the miniseries stuff that we do, is it's not gonna that there's never a bad time to read the book. And if you're lost and you see it says it's 1 out of 3 or 2 out of 3 or whatever it is, that the comic shop, you can just go there and get what you're missing, or you can order on AlternaAccess.com. And it's not to say that if these were all ongoing, and I wish they were, I wish we could get up to issue 100, issue 200 on every single series. But if we were to do stories like that, and the rest of the industry too, like this is the way you have to do it. You have to do it so that every single issue is self-contained, and there could be a subplot that carries throughout, but something has to have started and happened and ended within that issue, even if there's a little bit of something that carries on later on. You can't have this thing where we see a lot of ongoings nowadays where every single thing feels like you're just reading a chapter within a larger story instead of an actual issue. You know, we can't have that storytelling style and expect people to still stay on. And if anything, unfortunately, you know, we're not really seeing that occur so much.
Boy, gee, howdy do I certainly love all the down-to-earth new comics with at least 6 issues to get anywhere.
Right?
Oh, yes, my favorite thing in the world.
You know, another series that I really enjoyed, now this is for the adults here, that I didn't think I would enjoy as much as I did, was Doppelganger.
Mm.
The cover wasn't one that goes, oh, I really want to read this. I was like, oh, okay, I'll get to it. And like, so I got them all and I read it. And I tell you, within a couple pages, I was hooked. I read all of them back to back. That was a really cool one.
Yeah, that one kind of sneaks up on you. It's old school. It's kind of like a Tales from the Crypt kind of vibe.
I absolutely love it. So I really hope there'll be another Doppelganger volume, maybe.
Unfortunately, I don't think there will be. I think Jordan's done with that. If he does do anything, though, I don't think it'll necessarily be at Alterna. But I think he's told the story he wants to tell, at least as far as what I've heard.
Okay, well, it was awesome. It was another great one. I've been getting a lot of things. I think the next one, I read the 12 recently. I did a review of that.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
It was, it wasn't like an action-packed story. It was more of a character development over time telling story, and I really liked how it was done. I thought it was really well done with how they show a little bit of near the end at the beginning, and then you see how it got there kind of storytelling. But the characterization is where that story, I think, really sold it. So,
as I like to say, that the XII, because when I say the 12, everybody looks it up and they can't find it. So I always call it the XII.
Final Fantasy's 12.
Yeah, and that it's kind of like Walking Dead, but without the zombies. It's got that slow burn kind of feel that there's danger around every corner, even though it's not necessarily action packed. It keeps that mood. It keeps your tension up. And I really like the story that Patrick Trahey, that he told. He did a wonderful job with it, and they are continuing the story. So look for that to come closer towards like mid 2020, another volume of that series. Awesome.
And just for record, when I say it's not action packed, I mean it's not page to page. Everyone's getting shot and blown to pieces, but there is action in it. Yeah, it's in the right times to give you the more of the fear of what's going on and things. I think it's just pacing was great. The amount that they show you but keep you in suspense is just right. So I really enjoyed it. And wonder, did you ever read Mother Russia?
That's a fun one.
I managed to get a hold of the final issue. My shop is very they're not able to always get all of them. And so I would go to different places to go and try and find them. And luckily, like, I live near Books A Million, so I'd stop on by every so often. So yeah, that series was really fun. But of course, I only read the last issue, so I am on the hunt to go and go get those.
So another one for a good Halloween read.
Yeah. Along with Actual Roger, I really fell in love with. I really want to read more Mr. Crypt. Psycho KO is amazing. I love that one.
Yeah, that one's a lot of fun. It's got like an old school Adult Swim kind of vibe to it. Like, like a cartoon. Yep. Yeah.
Well, that's excellent. So let's see what we got going on here for your perks. Now it says here you have hats. Alterna Comics 4-color hat, $16. So if you want an Alterna hat, you can get one. That's cool. The calendars, a 13-month calendar that you can get. So you might tell us a little bit maybe about the hat and the calendar?
Yeah, the hat is let's see, we got 2 of them at this point. We just unlocked, I don't know if we can get that on the screen there, but we just unlocked the it's all the way up at the featured perk. Here? There we go. Yeah. So the Alterna Comics 4-color hat, it's representative of the CMYK that can be found in every single comic. And that's just a new hat. Everybody's been asking us, are you going to do a new hat? Are you going to do a new hat? And especially it shows, people show me their hat that they wear every single day, similar to the one that I have that I wear often too. And the thing is just it's in tatters because they just love it and they wear it so much. But they want to know, are we going to get a different hat design? Because if we're going to get a different hat design, maybe they'll buy that one instead of just repurchasing the same hat again. And I say, okay, hold on, we're going to get a new hat probably around October. And what's really funny is that this was it was an unlockable, and we had a lot of people that were really kind of trying to boost the campaign of it because they were like, I want that hat. We have to unlock this hat. So I want this hat too. So I'm going to be, once we get that in, I'm going to be wearing that and switching around between the beanies, the hats, all that stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
But yeah, so we've got the new hat design on there. We've got the old hat design on there too. They're embroidered logos too. Mine's the old school generation one where it's screen printed, but all of these ones are nice. They're really quality. They're embroidered on there.
Oh my gosh, I want one.
Yeah.
So there you go. Get yourself a hat and the friend. Who knows? Hey, you can always stock up for winter.
Yeah, there you go.
Get them on Christmas time. And so tell us about this. We'll look at those other hats too, because I know you have other ones in this too. So we'll make sure we check those out. But you also have calendars. So
yeah, the calendar, that was kind of just. It might seem weird to people, but it was just something to put some fun into the campaign and do something unique. And I'm just going, you know what? I use a calendar all the time. Kids love using calendars. I wanted something that was fun and kid friendly too, and a bit unique, and not just also a comic necessarily as well. So the calendars have. You could scroll down a little bit more, and we can see a sample of the interiors of the calendar. On one side, on the left-hand side, we've got this. Yeah, this is the cover. It's a great wraparound cover by Dean Kotz and Ryan Wynn. Did an awesome job. We've got that as a trading card and a poster too. And we can see the interior here. So on the left-hand side is a nice, clean image that would be used for a cover, but we don't have the cover address or anything like that. It's just you can see the art and it's in all of its glory. And on the right-hand side, we've got the calendar. We've got a place up top to write notes. We've got something about what the book is about, a little blurb there, and we've got 5 thumbnails of pages on the bottom, as well as the creative team who's behind, obviously, these awesome comics. And you can write on this, of course. I know many won't, but kids, if there's parents with kids, if they're writing on this, don't worry about it, because in every single bundle you're going to get a couple of these. So let them write on one. Let them put their homework down in there. Let them write the notes of what they're doing this month or anything like that. Kids love writing in calendars. At least I loved writing in calendars as a kid for school, but also when I was a substitute teacher, I saw kids loved writing down all the stuff they had to do. And even just writing off, what the days are off for school, or holidays coming up, or birthdays coming up. So this is just a fun thing to give for the kids, and they'll have a nice, friendly, the all ages art on there. We're not going to have the chair in the calendar. We're not going to have any of the mature. Yeah, we're not going to have a big splash page of someone's head getting cut off or something like that. It's going to be nice, all ages and young adult titles too, which basically the teen titles, the young adult titles at Alterna, 20 years ago, those all would have been considered all ages. So unfortunately now, all ages equals, it's okay for the kids too, but the teen titles are okay for the kids as well.
And if you, just for the record, if you haven't read The Chair, you need to go out and read The Chair. I hear the author's a nice guy. So
I've heard he's a jerk.
That too.
I've heard he's a jerk.
But that was really, really good. Awesome.
But then again, I've only heard it based on what I read on the internet.
Now here's where we're getting really interesting stuff here. The Trick or Treater bundle. You get a tote bag, silly putty. I mean, really, silly putty. Random kid-friendly comic, alternate calendar. I support my local comic shop sticker and 2 pins. Now, I have to go back to silly putty. Wow, that takes it back. Silly putty and comic books. So,
I approve of this.
Were you one of those kids that used silly putty on your comic book?
Yeah, I loved it. Especially also not just comics, but more so even just the Sunday funnies. Mm-hmm. That was great. Or even not even the funnies. Someone's picture in the paper, you're a little kid. You don't care who these people are. So you just stamp out the silly putty on there, and you're like, someone's face.
Yeah.
But the silly putty stuff is great. It's fun. You can use it on these comics. You can't use them on most modern comics, but you can use them on the Alterna comics. And with that trick or treater bundle too, and every other bundle perk as well, it's free shipping for US backers. So for $10 flat, you're going to get the tote bag, which you can see right here, and you're going to get silly putty, a random kid-friendly comic, the Alterna calendar, and I support my local comic shop sticker, and 2 pins, an AlternaWeen pin and the Alterna Comics 4-color pin with that retro-looking logo. And that's a lot of stuff. You're going to get all of that for just $10. So if you've got someone, you've got a kid especially that you want to take trick-or-treating out on Halloween, you can use this bag. It's a nice big bag. It looks a little small behind me, but it's big. It's a nice big bag. You can hold lots of candy in there. And it's a perfect size, too, for conventions. So if you've got a convention or anything like that, it'll hold comics. It'll hold a whole bunch of stuff.
That's the same size as the red bag then, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Awesome. And that red bag I have sitting back here, well, you can't see it in my office here. So, yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea for a trick-or-treat bag. I'm going to have to remember that. Also on this same page, you can see what's been unlocked, the hat we were just talking about. An awesome shirt says Long Box Strong. I like that.
Yeah, especially some of these long boxes nowadays when they're full of the modern comics with the thicker, heavier paper stock. Oh boy, it's a backbreaker, so you're going to need to haul it up with the 2 hands. Whereas the newsprint boxes, you can kind of, they move along very, very easily.
But we still have a couple more to unlock. We got to unlock this Team Comics. Come on. I mean, that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone wanted Team Comics on black as well. We've got it right now as a blue ringer, but we had a lot of requests to put the shirt on black. I think we're going to get there. We're only, I think, 17 or 16 away, something like that. But I have faith that we're going to unlock that. Definitely.
Yep. 17 away. We're getting there. Also, there's a hoodie unlock at 300. At least I think that's a hoodie.
Yeah, that would be the first ever Alterna Comics hoodie. It's a zip up, and we'll see if we can get to 300. I don't think we're going to get to 300, and it's not me being a pessimist or anything. I'm just looking at the numbers. I don't think we're going to hit that. But if we do, I'm more than happy to make the hoodie available.
Heck yeah!
We have to prove Peter Simeti wrong.
Yeah, prove me wrong.
We do.
And let's share this link that I did put it in the info bar below. It's also, I put it right in the chat so people get there. Check out that link, support this. Let's get that hoodie there. I'm interested in that.
Heck yeah.
And we got the classic hat here. I call it the classic one. That's the one I'm familiar with. So that's nice. Another wonderful hat in case maybe you didn't already have it. And then the beanies. I have to admit, I don't have a beanie. So
yeah, these
you have to get a beanie, man. Yeah,
these are that nice kind of old school retro beanie. Again, the CMYK. Everyone's like, where's the K? Where's the black? The black is the hat.
Yeah. Definitely good. And here's the other Team Comics one. I want it on the black, I think, personally, but this one's cool too. So if you like the blue, maybe that's what I'll have to do. Maybe I'll have to get little Frugal the blue one and get myself the black one.
Oh, there you go.
That sounds like a good idea.
So what would I get my girl then? Let's see here. I don't know. I'll have to get her something too, because she loves the comics as well. She can't read them yet, but she enjoys the stories.
Hey, you gotta start them young.
That's right. So there is, if you like that, Team Comic shirt that's already available. $20, not bad for a shirt at all. Then there's the 4-color Alterna Comics. So think about this. Not only you get to support a company that you like, that treating people great, you get to help promote it too, right? And get to have a good shirt. That's a win-win all around.
Absolutely.
And I will admit the long box one that we talked about already. I want that one too, so I'm gonna have to order that. I just thought that was a cool concept. So who created the long box strong concept?
That's me.
Oh, that was your idea. Okay.
Yep.
From lifting all those for
yeah. It's the hidden geek strength from lifting all the boxes all the time.
Oh yeah. The true power within.
That's right. You get that nerd strength from lifting up all those comic book boxes. And you know what? I agree with that because I moved my comic book room in our house.
Yeah.
And
It's a workout.
oh yeah, because we have about like around 10,000 comics, and that was a lot to take up steps.
Yeah, you need to get like the weightlifting belt on there so you don't blow out, get a hernia or anything. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was not fun. I'll admit that I didn't do it all in one day either. It's like I'm going to break this into a few days. But let's look at something else that makes you and this company special. If you don't mind, it's AlternaWeen is also giving back. You mind telling us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so with this campaign, similar to what we did last year too, every extra $1,000 we raise past the goal, we're also giving right off the bat. As soon as we hit the goal, we're giving 100 to children's hospitals. But every 1,000 we raise past it, we're giving another 100. So far, we're giving 200 to children's hospitals on top of close to like 800 or 900 from other backers that are saying, I don't get all the trick or treaters, but I want to support. Can these get donated? So we're doing that as well. But yeah, so every 1,000 we raise, we're going to be donating a bunch of books. And it's just something that's great too, because a lot of these kids, they're in the children's hospital and they can't get out for Halloween. They can't get, trick or treats the way every other kind of kid can get. And we bring the trick or treats to them, and they can still have a nice, awesome, fun holiday.
That's really sweet.
And they do. They really appreciate that. Little Frugal and I, actually, we're going to be doing that as well, giving some comics to the children's hospital locally by us, because we asked some people, said, where else could we give this, to help? And somebody mentioned, I was like, why didn't I ever think of that? Because what kid wants to be in the hospital? I mean, that's pretty rough. And I know they do as much as they can to make it nice for the kids, but I can imagine myself. I was in the hospital a lot, but most of mine were to get sewed up and then shipped back out. But I could imagine if I was stuck there for days, I'd want some comic books to read, because that's what I always loved to do, is read comic books. I think that would really brighten some children's day. So
Absolutely.
I love that. That's a lot of heart, and that's absolutely amazing. Also, too, in case anybody didn't pay attention, hopefully we'll get there. Little Frugal and I do have, when we hit 3,000 subscribers, we're going to go to a place that there's a comic book shop, and then there's right in the same little strip area, there's a video game store, and we're going to go right between two of them, and we're going to give away, I think I said 100 comic books that day. So when we hit that, we're going to give away 100 comic books as well to bring more awareness. So if you see parents and kids stuff, we'll give them kids ones. If there's an adult buying a video game or something, we'll give them an adult one. So, we're just going to have some fun.
That's great.
It's stuff we like to do together. And one of the easy ways, if you want to do things and help like that too, or get some for yourself or a gift, is the 25 all ages bundle. See, I had my segue there.
I'm so stoked for that. I think last year, I don't know if you really did that last year.
No, yeah, last year we did just 50, 100, and then 200.
Yeah.
And this year I wanted to do a little bit less, and this way give more of an option for everybody.
But yeah, you gave us an option. You gave us like a let us know, because I remember my package came in and they were too adult for the kids, so I ended up donating them to a hospital. But I read them all before I gave them away. But yeah, this year I'm definitely stoked. I want to get the kids one so I can hand them out.
Yeah, and we packaged them all. We limited all the reward tiers. This way we're not going to run out. Last year we were starting to run out because there was about maybe 20 bundles where we thought we had more all ages books, but
oh really?
We didn't. So that's why you ended up getting a bundle that was more mixed and had a bunch of the older titles in there too. So this year, everyone that orders an all ages bundle, you're going to get all ages books. And if you get obviously a mixed bundle, all ages, teen, mature, you're going to get a nice assortment.
Oh,
sorry,
awesome.
nerd one. There's probably possibly my fault, because I think I had over 300 books coming.
Oh yeah,
Oh
he ordered a bunch.
Awesome. I don't even care. No, let's face it. It all goes to a good cause. Anyway, like it not only helps Alterna, a bunch of it gets donated to charity. I mean, kids win no matter what. Kids are getting books.
And adults win. Just because these are kids' books doesn't mean adults can't enjoy them either.
Oh, no, you're right.
They're fun.
Yeah, they're truly for readers of all ages.
I loved Mr. Crypt. That's how I started reading it. Was the pieces and it came out on Wednesday, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. I mean, Frugal always told me it's like Mr. Crypt is really good. I'm like, sure. Oh, he was dead on.
Wait, so you're saying normally you don't trust him? Oh, he just called me out. Normally, I think your opinion sucks, but
on this one, you were right.
You were right for once. That's okay. Dead Punk Gage said the thing you do for kids online is worth it. You're a good man, Mr. Simeti. So absolutely, I agree.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, I had a lot of friends growing up who had a lot of issues, and they were always in the hospital. You know, you'd see them a couple of times a year. They were in the hospital so much, and they'd miss out on things like Christmas and Halloween. And, you know, whenever you'd visit them or you'd see them, you always try to bring something on the day that made them feel like they were part of it. And that just hits a nerve with me with this stuff too. But more than that, it's just about paying it forward. You know, we want to make sure that all these kids, as much as we can possibly do anyway, I wish we could do more, that kids everywhere feel like they're included in this, because comics truly are for everyone, especially comics at Alterna. 100%. That's what we're all about.
That is absolutely awesome. So, and it's said there's more bundles than that too. That was a $25 all ages bundle. Here's another one, a mixed bundle, correct? So that's just got, what's the, you know, just so I don't want to misspeak here, what's the difference between the all ages bundle and the mixed bundle? I'm pretty sure it's right here, tells why, but I don't want to push.
Yeah. So just the all ages bundle, you only get all ages books, and then the mixed bundle, you get an assortment. Now, if you're someone who, you know, you don't want any mature reader titles in there, you just want to 100% use these as trigger treats, by all means, please send us a message and let us know after you purchase that bundle. You know, can you do me a favor and just make sure it's all ages and young adult, no mature titles, please. That's perfectly fine. So we'll honor those kinds of requests if we get them.
Or you could just keep the adult ones for
yourself. You could, but we've had a couple backers already that have requested to see if we could do that. So we definitely can.
So I guess you don't have the excuse of saying, "Well, I didn't know they were there." Ha ha ha! They're really mine. Oh, I bought this for the kid, but I didn't realize it's mine.
It's always yours until you give it to them. So you might as well read it. Oh, come on, they're not gonna notice.
That would be selfish, though. Shame. Yes, I bought my kid Mortal Kombat. Oh, can't play it. That's mine.
Okay, true. I just meant the comics, and you know, you buy a comic and it's right there. You might as well read it.
Well, you know, and in all fairness, too, I try to read other ones with my kids, but there's certain ones I just can't. Or I look at it, it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. You know, it's just not appropriate, and that's okay. And then there's 50, so let's bring it up even more, right? You get 50 issues. Once again, for the price point, you can't beat that. $35 for 50 issues. I mean, you're going to have a lot of fun to give away.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I don't give away at my house because nobody's going to come down my driveway out in the middle of nowhere. So that's why I said we're going to give them while we go trick-or-treating. We take our kids to a small town, and that's where we go trick-or-treating. So that's where we're going to be giving them away as well. So that's going to work out great. I'm going to make him carry them. Little Frugal's going to be carrying. I'm kidding. I won't make him carry him. He's going to have his candy and his sister with him.
Yeah.
And then, of course, a $50 mixed bundle, so you get the more adult ones and things too. So, Peter, it would say, what do you think is the most scary Alterna comic book out there right now?
The most scary Alterna title is it's probably going to be mine. It's probably going to be The Chair.
Ooh.
That's probably going to be the most intense, scary, inappropriate for kids title that we have. I'm not sure. Let's see. What would be second? We've got, at this point, maybe Blood Realm. Blood Realm
That's what I
might be
thought would
more.
be number one.
Yeah, that might be more nightmare-inducing for a kid based on imagery, but based on reading the book, the chair is absolutely far more inappropriate for children than Blood Realm is.
So don't let your kid, if you don't think he can handle it, read the chairs. Yeah, mine didn't read the chairs.
But just don't tell if your kid is interested in the chair. Don't tell them that this is too scary for them, because that's going to be the worst thing you could tell a kid. Because now the kid's just going to go right for it. Tell them it's not any good. They're not going to like it.
Tell them it's filled with a lot of words and history.
Yeah, it's too many. It's too complex. Too many words.
Tell them there's math. Kids hate math.
Though, to be fair, kids, I think, would surprise us. I mean, my kid, he plays that Bendy and the Ink Machine. He plays Five Nights at Freddy's.
All the kids are really into that. I when I was teaching kids like art classes and stuff, they'd all be running around with Five Nights at Freddy's. They'd all draw him.
Yeah,
you kids are too young to get. Oh, you want to know what's even crazier? They're into. Some of them actually know what Yandere Simulator is, and I'm like, you children are not supposed to be playing this. It's like, we do. We watch a Let's Player. There's an age.
What's it called again?
It's called Yandere Simulator. It's about a girl who has fallen in love with her senpai at school, the older classmate. She has a crush on him. But she knows that somebody else is also in love with him. And they will most likely confess their love before you. So you have to kill them.
Oh, okay.
Because you're crazy.
Well, that got dark really fast.
As they call it.
You were then going to have to romantically woo them.
I don't think you ever
I guess
can.
killing your competition, I guess.
It's supposed to be like, this is not to be condoned. She crazy kids. And they do a very good job at showing how creepy this person is. So, yeah.
All right. So here we get some more. You get the shirts, 2-shirt bundle. So this was where I was leaning at, like, see, consider one for me, a little Frugal, but my girl's going to want one too. I don't know. My wife might want one as well. I leave her out. I shouldn't. Because she reads comic books too. Just for record, yeah, my wife reads comic books, plays video games, and all that crap. When there's time, though, she usually plays more retro video games. So I think she's trying to beat Lode Runner on regular Nintendo. I think is her.
Oh boy, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that does seem challenging. What am I? I'm playing something a little more mindless right now. I'm playing the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. So.
What are you playing?
Breaking stuff.
What are you playing, Peter? Do you play games?
Every now and then. Usually, I just stick to Mario Kart. Usually, that's all we do. We try to get in a couple games of Mario Kart to unwind.
Well, nothing can beat the Nintendo. Right now I'm playing Fire Emblem 3 Houses. That's a really good one.
Well, see, nice. At my house, we have what we call, each week we have one night set aside. We call it family game night. We play either board games, video games, or a combination of both, and we have fun. And I will say Mario Kart is one that's commonly broken out, and we all go, on Mario Karting against each other. So
it's fun. I used to play a lot of RPGs and everything, but no more time for that. No more time.
I run into the same thing. I've got them sitting on the shelf, and I go, well, maybe when I retire.
Yeah.
I don't have 100 hours to put into a video game. Those like 8-hour and under games are so much more appealing now.
Yeah, those were the days.
Honestly, but yeah, I totally agree with you with the Mario Kart. And of course, Mario Party. I one time bought it, and I had to go to work early in the morning, and I could hear faintly in the distance Mario screaming, Mario Kart 8! As somebody put it in, because they were incredibly determined to become the best racer in the household.
You gotta get up early and practice, right?
Yeah, it was like, you're the perfect alarm clock.
I haven't played 8 yet. We've played the one on the Wii. We've played Double Dash. The Nintendo 64 one we absolutely love. The Super Nintendo one, but I haven't got to 8 yet.
If you do, it's a pretty good one. If you ever get a Switch, do pick that up in Mario Party, the new one. It's very good. We got it for my sister because she loves Mario Party.
We'll probably get the Switch at Christmas because little Frugal's been wanting one and asking for one. So I think we're gonna gonna pull the trigger on that and get them that for Christmas.
And they'll be doing some special deals probably around Christmas time for like the games that have been out for a while.
Yep.
So forth.
He's saving up his money for Mario Maker 2 right now.
Oh yeah, that one is very popular with people.
He's got the first one. He got that for his birthday, and we've been playing that. So we've been doing some videos. I put one up. I got to put up other ones. We call them challenges. He makes the map, not the level, and I have to beat it.
Oh my gosh, I want to see that. Oh my gosh. That's adorable and wholesome. I love wholesome things. Okay.
But I think I'm going to change the rules up a little bit because before I just played until I beat it. And I was like, no, I think I got to make it more fair because I'm tenacious. I'll go until I win. Yeah. So I'm going to have to put like a 5 life limit or something to that. He's tricky. He'll put like a tube that if you go down the tube, you'll pop out and die. You know, so you went in that tube.
He's learning to be one of those troll level makers, isn't he?
Yes, absolutely.
They're very popular right now.
All right, so here now this one says a retailer bundle, but you don't have to. Let's be honest, you don't need to be a retailer to buy 100 issues.
Heck no.
That's a Saturday.
No,
bundle.
well, yeah, that's that's the special discount for retailers, but we've also got the 100 bundle for everybody else too. So the retailer bundle's at 50, and then the regular bundle for 100's at 70.
There we go.
So yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let's be honest. Who can't read through 100 comics quick? I mean, you know, they're just fun. I mean, I could burn through 10 in a night. So,
this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I got a pile behind me still I'd like to get to. So, I'm looking forward to it. So, also and then once again, if you're giving them away, that's a great way. Once again, that's $1. That's less than $1 an issue, right? That's 70 cents an issue.
Yep.
Can you beat that? So definitely worth it, especially if you're giving them out. And then the cool pins, I got a couple of pins, but not the new AlternaWeen pins.
Yeah, we put some new pins out this year, and people were requesting them last year. AlternaWeen pins, AlternaWeen tote bags, and I figured, I don't know, I guess maybe we'll see next year if we've got time. And this year we thought about that, and I brought those back in. So. Everyone seems to be enjoying those too, so that's great.
And if you're interested in that tote bag, here's on the screen. That bag there gives you the dimensions as well. I definitely think that's good for a good candy haul.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I will say, my kids get a lot of candy for Halloween, but it takes them forever to eat it. I mean, they still got Easter candy. So
my parents would after a while just dump it all out, and they would give us a warning, like, you know how parents are. They're like, number one, you can only eat this for dessert, and you can only eat this for maybe a snack, and you can eat this as a dessert for your lunch and dinner. Like, only time you can eat your candy, kids. It's like, and then of course, like, it's like, oh no, we're never gonna finish all the candy in time, so we got to eat all the good stuff around a certain time period.
See, I'm not a candy eater, so I mean, I could go without a piece of candy and be perfectly fine. My daughter, she will eat every piece of candy she sees.
Well, she's a kid, of course.
So, well, you're not all that way. My son isn't. He's not a real big candy eater either. But boy, my little girl, she will make a meal out of candy.
Sounds like a classic kid.
Yeah, her teeth are perfect, so that's great. And here we go is another one, a 200 all ages bundle. So for when 100 isn't enough, here you get more. And don't forget, you get the calendar with these as well. So
Yep.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Yeah, I know.
You get a couple calendars per bundle. But keep in mind too, when you get the 200 especially, you know, when you get the 100, you're going to get doubles. But when you get the 200, we only have so many comics, especially individual comics. So you're going to get 4 or 5 or 6 of some of them. But again, it's just to give out as trick or treats, and obviously you can keep whatever you want to keep for your own. And these are for you. You could do whatever you want to do with them. So if you want to donate them, you want to keep them, you want to use them as trick or treats, that's great. It's just a suggested thing. Obviously, we're not going to follow up and make sure everyone is using these for Halloween or whatever else.
Oh, you're not going to follow them.
Yeah, Frugal, save some for all of us.
Yeah, because some people were saying, well, how are you going to ensure that people don't buy these bundles and then just try to start selling them, or whatever? It's like we're not going to do that. That's insane. You bought the bundles. We're selling them at this price, and that's that. Spencer Rooster Puncher in the chat says that I'll hunt you down. I think I might have Spencer hunt you down. He's far more intimidating than I am. He's this like big 6 foot something and other guy, and but no, we're not going to do anything like that. So use them however you want. Even some people want to keep some of these for stocking stuffers for Christmas. Go for it. That's great.
Absolutely. We give them for all kinds of different reasons. Another thing that we do is when the Scholastic is there at the school, and kids can bring their money and buy books and things. If a kid doesn't have any money to buy books, Little Frugal has some comics to give them. So, we do think, because I grew up that way. When I was a kid, we didn't have much, so we couldn't go out and always buy that. So that would have been really nice if some kid said, "Hey, here's some comic books for you. You get some books too." So, yeah, he'll have some for that too. So, other ways to get rid of them. Be creative. There's all kinds of ways to make people happy. And so, why not with getting them into a good habit like comic books? Exactly. Why not get them reading?
Yep.
All right, so here's more with the mature readers ones as well. And once again, doubles are never bad. You have family, friends, give them away. I gave a ton away. I got plenty more to go. We're going to be giving a lot. And it's just fun. I tell you, there's something about, somebody, you giving them something like a comic book, especially if they look at you like, you're giving me a comic book and don't know what to think of it because they're new to comic books. And then they come back to you later and go, I really liked that. Do you have, what else do they have? I always found super awesome.
What was great last year too is that we had people giving these away for trick or treats, and then the next morning after Halloween, kids would be knocking on their door again saying, "You have any more of this one? You have the rest of this series?" So it's pretty funny.
Now that is cool.
I'm really hoping that'll happen with me and so forth, and maybe I won't when is Halloween on a Thursday?
Let's see. I know everybody's doing that thing where Halloween's on that Saturday.
The last
Saturday of the month.
The last Saturday of the month. That's when I'm probably going to go down to the little shopping malls. My mother's a teacher, so maybe I can go ask her about some areas that, or go to the local mall by my place and just hand out the comics. Wait, no, maybe that would make me look like a creeper. I'll figure it out.
I get away with it because I've got a kid with me.
Yeah, no, I don't.
If you dress in costume, you can get away with it.
Yeah, I probably could. I could just hold up a sign that says free comics.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. As long as I don't look like a creeper, that's all that matters to me, man. I do not want people to think that they need to call Chris Hansen, okay?
Are you saying I shouldn't be holding on to Little Frugal so we can't get away and have him go to the kids? Run while you can.
There's a holiday thing that happens around City Hall by my folks' place. I may just drop them off over there and
go for it.
I think kids would like that.
Dead Punk Gage said comic books and art supplies were my favorite things to get on my birthday.
Oh heck.
That's a good birthday.
That is. It's still a good birthday gift. That's what I do get.
Oh,
well, they're more of it's a lot of ink pens and certain reference material.
I usually get things like socks.
Oh my gosh.
Socks are good.
Socks.
That's right.
Socks are good.
Dude, I got socks for my birthday this year. They were the coolest socks ever. No lie. Then my dog ran off with them.
I get a lot of T-shirts too, so which again I'm not complaining because I need them. So
yeah, useful gifts are great, especially the older you get and the more stuff you've already accrued. Forget it. I don't want more stuff to just sit on top of other stuff.
Yeah,
right. Find me something I'm not going to use. Get me a shirt or something that I can use. Absolutely.
It literally is that the older you get, the more the convenient, like clothing and so forth, is what you need.
I can imagine being a kid getting it. Might not have been as fun though. But this one, now this is this truly awesome one. I'm guessing is the everything bundle, which is just that everything.
Yeah, you get everything other than at this point, because this was early on with the everything bundle. You don't get the long box strong. You don't get any of the unlockables. You get everything that was not an unlockable. So you don't get the long box strong shirt. You don't get the if we do unlock the Team Comics on Black, you won't get that. You don't get the 4-color CMYK beanie or the 4-color hat, but you get everything else. Everything else you get, and you get a stack of 50 comics.
Yeah, I get the comic stuff and all that. That's awesome. That's absolutely amazing. So I think this is great, and I hope it continues to do really well. I hope it keeps going on up too. I think this is just a great opportunity to share some wonderful comic books with people, spread the word, good cheer. And I think you're a champion of that online. I tell you, you've taken a lot of heat, but you keep coming back with nothing but positivity, and that's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I mean, I get in the dirt once in a while. I'll admit that, and getting arguments. Not as much lately. I just haven't had time. Well, I haven't. It's just let's be honest. Sometimes when you have more time on your hands, you can dabble and get in more trouble.
Those kinds of people aren't worth our time. That's the thing.
Yeah.
All the time we put towards those kinds of awful people, we're losing time we could spend, talking to the good people in our life.
Yeah, why not be having fun when we can? I mean, it's okay to have a disagreement. Who doesn't once in a while? But at the end of the day, is it something to hate each other? No. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Hey, we can agree on this. Here's a comic book. Maybe we can agree on this. Problem solved. Why not? So, okay, we said that. The scariest one is going to be the chair. I probably agree with you on that, by the way. So if you were going to recommend, let's talk about some recommendations. If you're going to recommend Alterna comic to young readers, which one would you recommend?
Okay, sure. I've actually got a couple behind me that I can recommend. Let me gather these up, and then I will show them on screen. Okay. All right. So I can start with, I don't know if you want to have me on the screen or anything like that so people can see it, a bit of
yeah, let me
should be able to hit, I think, like solo layout or something like that. It says on top of the thumbnail.
Okay, yep, there it is.
Alrighty. Okay, so this one is Mighty Mascots. This is issue 2 of Mighty Mascots. This is a fun one. It's about a bunch of cereal mascots, a team of them, that have come to life due to a freak 3D printing accident. So you'll notice some familiar parody of cereal icons here. And it's a fun book, though. It's more than that. It's more than just that concept. There's a lot of great art here, courtesy of Ian Warianto and Anton Bandy. Really dynamic stuff that's fun to draw even. Kids are going to see this and get inspired to draw these characters.
That is so true. That after reading Mr. Crypt, little Frugal started drawing comic books, and now that he's been giving comics at school, some of his friends start drawing comic books too. Actually, even a couple of them got together and did a comic book together.
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, so this is the first volume of Mighty Mascots. The next volume is going to come out next year, but we're going to have the Giant come out in a couple of months. And then we've got this one. We've been talking about this all night. This is Mr. Crypt and Baron Rat, or The Adventures of Mr. Crypt and Baron Rat, coming out to a comic shop very, very, very soon. Hopefully next week. Fingers crossed. Now, Mr. Crypt had his own series last year, and that introduced him and Baron Rat, which is his best friend, and they both live in a shed together. Mr. Crypt is basically a living skeleton who's a top hat and a mustache for a disguise. And why this works and why it's a good disguise, I don't know. Just ask Clark Kent, and how does he get away with it?
I mean, is anybody going to know? I mean, is anybody going to really notice a skeleton wearing a hat and a mustache? You never expect that.
Well, what I love is this. Let me see. Can I get a shot here? Okay, yeah. So what I love is this. We had a kid one time at a convention, He loves Mr. Crypt. He came up with his Mr. Crypt comic, and he goes, "I love Mr. Crypt." He goes, "But I don't understand. How come people don't recognize that he's a skeleton? He's not wearing any pants. Can't they see his skeleton legs?" And I just had to say, well, you know what? They get so distracted by the top hat and the mustache. See? They don't even look at his pants or his legs. And he went, he said, okay.
Oh my god.
Just go look at some old white guy's legs. They look like bony like that half the time too. So
Yeah.
I mean, all he has to do is wear some socks and sandals, and everybody's gonna think he's just some weird dude.
So in this issue in particular, Mr. Crypt and Baron Rat, they have to get Bigfoot out of the local forest because he's been terrorizing the town. And they get more than they bargained for, and the story obviously heads in a couple different directions, and you guys will have to read this next week to find out.
Oh my gosh, I want that. That is so
there you
cute.
go. Run to your local comic shop next week and say, we want this issue. If they don't have it, ask them if they can order it, right?
Absolutely. So then this
All right.
one as well, this is great for kids, is the actual Roger.
I love that one.
This one's a lot of fun. For those of you that don't know, the actual Roger is created, written, and illustrated by Hank Tucker, who is also the director of the Tick animated series, a storyboard artist and storyboard director on a ton of iconic animated shows like Transformers, G.I. Joe, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. He started off doing work for Pete's Dragon at Disney.
Aww.
So he's been around for a while, and he's been doing tremendous work behind the scenes. He's even had stuff on Darkwing Duck and just you name it, he's done it.
Let's get dangerous.
Yeah, I told him one time, because this was the funniest thing. I'm looking him up because when he pitched to Alterna, he had said he had directed the Tick animated series. So I never bothered to look past his IMDb or whatever it was for that. And then one day I have to write up a bio for him on the site, and I'm looking him up, and I'm like, is this really you? Is this the correct guy? Because his credits, it's tremendous. And I'm telling him, like, you basically had a part in creating pretty much everyone's childhood. And he's like, yeah, you think so? He's so humble. He's like, I guess so. It's like, you just go from job to job. You're doing work and you're doing all these things. And I'm like, oh, Hank, it's so Hank of him. I'm going to be talking to him actually on the 30th. He's going to be on Alterna Comics Live finally.
That's awesome.
But yeah, he's great. He's so humble. He's tremendously talented. He's such an awesome guy. But the actual Roger's a lot of fun. It's the tales of an unwanted sidekick. He basically gets struck with cosmic rays one day, and Roger here, he gets the ability to fly or to hover a couple feet off the ground. And now a government agency swoops in. They get the whole scope of, he's got powers now, so we got to put him in the superhero program, and he's a sidekick. So he's partnered up with this superhero here, Magnanimo, who's a bit of a super jerk. He doesn't want him around. He doesn't really like the fact that he's there. He's cramping his style. He doesn't really want a sidekick, and it's kind of the dynamic between the two of them, as this villain here, Dr. Spectre, is after Roger, thinks he's way more powerful than he really is, and there's hilarity that ensues, obviously, while also we get in issue 4, this will be revealed here, this guy is the former sidekick of Magnanimo, and he has been wronged, and he is out for vengeance.
Uh-oh.
So it could spell trouble. It could spell trouble for our heroes, and this is some of the interiors here, and this is just fun stuff by Hank. He does some great work. Really gets into it.
Yeah, it's like fully detailed.
That was my first Alterna comic, was the actual Roger #1, and Little Frugal, I had it in black and white before it was in color, and now we got it in color too. But.
Yeah.
Oh, get on! I didn't know it wasn't in color before. I own the colored version.
It was originally just available on Comixology, and it was black and white. Hank had done the lettering. Hank had kind of a rough script for things. We kind of just wanted to get it out there. I said, okay, well, eventually we'll get out the print version and we can revise things and we could do all that, because digital comics, for whatever reason, they just don't. They're not as widely read as print comics. Yeah. So I said, look, when we get this out in print, we can color it, we can give it a nice edit, and we can do some great lettering on there. So that's what we've got going on in the series right now, and it's been a blast seeing people really enjoy this story. The actual Roger also has, because it's so many pages in this issue, we had to put page 1 on the inside front cover. So this is kind of one of the first issues where you can see what an Alterna comic would look like on the so-called better quality premium paper.
Okay, nice.
To me, this is the newsprint, and then this is the premium. I don't know. I like the way the color looks on newsprint better.
Yeah.
I think it just works better with it. It's a little bit garish on the premium coated stock, but it's great still, obviously, because it's Hank Tucker's. So this one's coming out soon.
Ooh, well, I know we'll be getting that one too as well. Another one to add to the list. All right, so we've hit the young one. So let's see, we hit the youth. If you were to pimp out an adult Alterna comic book, which one would you be recommending to a new Alterna reader?
To a new Alterna reader, I'd probably recommend. I usually recommend Trespasser.
Oh, that one's a good one.
Yep.
Trespasser's great. This is a real intense story about an alien that crash lands in a forest in a post-apocalyptic world. It's near a father and his daughter, and they're kind of starving, and they're kind of just trying to survive. And this alien crash lands, and the story really takes a couple crazy twists and turns.
Yeah, I like that one a lot as well. That's also a good Halloween reading.
That is totally a good Halloween read.
Absolutely.
So definitely. Yeah, that was a lot of fun too. I think I did a review of that book for that series.
Did you?
Yeah, I think you did.
I can't keep track anymore. I don't know if it's old age or I've just done a lot of them.
You've done a ton.
Well, there's a lot of Alterna books at this point, so no one's going to have any hard feelings if you can't remember every single one of them.
I remember the story. I know what happens. It was pretty cool. That's why I made the lame taste like chicken mentioning. I've always had a spin like that myself. I always said we always see these movies and everything, read these books. The aliens always come, they kill us, they farm us out for our organs, they eat us. Well, what if they come and we go, wow, you guys are delicious, and we eat them? I mean, you just don't, that's not a common thing. Switch you see on that, but yeah, they taste like chicken. Who knows?
I mean, hey, post-apocalyptic. I mean, you're starving to death. Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's right. But that goes from there. Like you said, I'm not going to give it away. The twists and things like that. It's good.
Yeah, and that one actually too has been it's been optioned to become a film, and hopefully that happens. We'll see.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
Yeah, the co-writer of the Wonder Woman screenplay had optioned that. So I think that would be great. I think that would be awesome if it happens. I hope it does really well. I hope Justin M. Ryan and Christian Rossi and DC Hopkins, I hope that's the creative team. I hope they all go on to even greater things at Alterna, not necessarily elsewhere. I love those guys. They're great. They're so talented, and they're a wonderful team. They're actually working on something. I can't go into a super tremendous amount of detail on it, but that might be out at Alterna within the next 2 years. So we'll see. But again, at Alterna too, it's 100% creator owned. So if that movie gets made and does well, and everything else involved, Justin, the creators of that, they see everything from that, not Alterna. Alterna, all we're going to do is print up more comics. That's all. So it's not anything.
I hope at least in the credits or the opening credits or whatever, it's like
that would be fun.
From the publishing of your Alterna, because then people will come buy more Alterna comics and see all the other really good comics.
That would be fun.
Guys, such good comics.
Absolutely. Why not? I mean, DC, Marvel, everything always has to have their name all over everything when it's done.
Yeah.
You know, maybe even have something cool during the film. You know, let's say since that one's post-apocalyptic, you know, there was a billboard or something that's down and it's an Alterna billboard or something. You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that'd be cool. Little Easter
Maybe.
eggs of that. So
Maybe we'll find random comics into the whole entire, like, somewhere there'll be a comic, and then it turns out all the comics that are stacked up are just a bunch of alternate comics. I can dream.
somebody steps on a rat, or actual Roger's one of the dead kids on the floor.
Oh my gosh, that's so mean! Don't say that.
Well, what would be really interesting too is if, and this is something that everybody can kind of tie Alterna titles together if they wish, but we've had people before that have said, "Oh, I wonder if the alien from Exilium is the alien that ends up in Trespasser."
Oh,
So you know, there's all kinds of fan fiction kind of ways you can tie things together, I suppose. But that would be quite the thing, wouldn't it? Especially because we do have a couple titles at Alterna that are post-apocalyptic. So you can see like the XII. What if they existed in the same world as Trespasser, along with the Wicked Righteous? You never know, and you know, it could be interesting. But that's for fans to create their own theories, not for us.
never going to be shared universe possibilities, crossovers.
You never know. Could always happen.
Yeah.
I never say never, but it's not really necessarily for me to decide.
Yeah. I can understand that'd be hard to coordinate with, you know, with people and their properties and what they mix together. But that would be really cool to see. I could even mix it up with some kid ones too, right? Psycho KO meets Baron Rat.
Yeah,
or actual Rat.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Excellent. So if anybody hasn't checked out, once again, it's in the comments section down below for the link for AlternaWeen's Indiegogo campaign. Check it out. At least just look it over. You can't really go wrong with that kind of price point. Keep a bunch of comics for yourself. Give a bunch away to others. Check out some of their other wonderful books they have on there. Get yourself a t-shirt, because we all have to keep covered up nowadays, or a hat, right?
Yeah.
Get your kids some bags to carry your candy. There's a lot to be had here for wonderful prices, and I don't think you can go wrong. And get a calendar so you don't miss the dates for what you're supposed to do, right? Because you know, if you're like me, I rely on my wife as my calendar a lot. She doesn't tell me I have to do that, I'm in trouble. At work, I do have a big calendar on my desk as well. Yeah. You know, I'm only walking around with a cell phone that has a calendar on it. You think I'd use it more? So anyway, I know we're a little over an hour, so I guess it might be a good time to start wrapping up. Does anyone want to share anything before we go today?
You all are amazing.
I mean the people watching, right?
Yes, they all are. They absolutely are. But thank you guys for having me on. It's always a blast talking to you guys. Nerd Wonder especially. We don't get to talk too much, but it's always a pleasure when we get to cross paths on streams.
It really is an honor to talk to you every time. It's just great. Like, you are just such a wonderful guy. And I'm not very used to that with a lot of professionals. To tell you the truth, no offense.
That's unfortunate.
You're
that's
a professional now too. Yeah, but Nerd, you're a professional now too. You've got professional work.
Yeah, everybody tells me that. I just keep forgetting.
What are you working on?
I finished a print. Last year I did an ashcan, and I'm trying to work on a few extra projects right now.
Nice, very good. Well, congratulations.
I'm just a hack.
Thank you so much. No, you're not. Honestly, no, you're gonna do great things, Frugal. Because you're Captain Frugal, and who can hate you? Seriously,
you're surprised. There could be a lot of hate out there.
Okay, fine. Everybody hates us. We're like the three who are super nice, and then there's like a group that hates us for some reason, and all we are is like, look at me, I'm playing video games with my kid, or look at me, I'm doing charity, or look at me, I took a picture of a cat, and everybody thinks we're so evil.
That's right. That's part of the fun, though.
Yeah, it's whatever. I'm just, dude, I'm trying to learn how to make comics and make people happy.
Well, you're doing great. You make a lot of people happy, and I appreciate you, Nerd Wonder. So I always love having you here. You notice I didn't make you do that. Usually, Nerd Wonder handles the duty of the other screen showing everything. She's too good for that, so I have to delegate that to me now.
Aww.
Hopefully, I didn't screw it up.
No, you did great.
No,
All
look
right.
good to me.
And Peter, do you have anything else you wanted to share, pimp out, surprise anybody? I don't know. Whatever makes you happy.
Well, a couple of days ago, we had announced plans that we were going to start doing Alterna distribution next year. So that's something that's obviously, I think, going to be a show for another day because it's a wide topic.
Woo!
There's a lot to that. But I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm looking forward to getting more comics out there, whether or not they are Alternas or other indie titles at this point. There needs to be some kind of a change in the industry and in comics. And a lot of people are making great stuff out there. And it needs to get a little bit more, I don't want to say exposure, but it needs to get into stores. It needs to get out there. It needs to get in front of a lot more people outside of just when, a crowdfunder hits or anything like that. So I'm looking forward to using the not only the readers, obviously, at Alterna, but the retailers, especially, that support Alterna directly, because on AlternaAccess.com, we sell directly to retailers all the time. So I know if we had even more books on there and more creators too that are very excited about their books and getting them out there to readers and retailers, I know that we'll have a really, really healthy indie comics industry. So this is something that I'm looking forward to doing. This is something that I think people are going to love. I think it's going to be kind of, I don't want to necessarily say it's revolutionary or anything like that. I hate that kind of phrasing. But it's going to make a pretty big impact for a lot of people because it's going to finally give an avenue for a lot of comics out there that otherwise they wouldn't have one. And it's something I think all of us are wonderful self-promoters in terms of indie comic creators. We've just become used to it at this point. So all we need is a place to tell people to go here and get our books. And I think Alterna distribution, I think that kind of thing is going to really provide a great avenue for people because it's going to get people excited. It's going to be a nice, easy ordering process. It's not going to be the system that's currently used in comics. It's not going to be about pre-ordering. It's going to be about what's on hand, what can get out there right now, and what can we do to get our books into Alterna distribution and out to readers and retailers. It's going to be answering a lot of questions right now that in comics it seems like there's a lot to be scared of or feel like, okay, comics are on the downward spiral here. But meanwhile in indie it's thriving, it's growing, and not only are readers excited about the books, but creators are getting excited about the books. So it's getting this whole wave of indie creators and indie readers all coming together. I think it's going to be great for Alterna distribution. Like I said, a lot of the crowdfunders that do really well, it's going to be something wonderful for those people too, to get those books out there into stores and in the hands of more readers. And everybody brings their audience in too. So it's not just about Alterna having readership and an audience and anything like that. It's about, if Nerd Wonder's got a book, let's get her book on there. Let's get a bunch of copies in. It's not about you have to print a massive print run either, because we can also use, if creators want to, they can piggyback onto the printing partnership program. So they can get their comics printed affordably and not have to print a ton of them, thousands of them, to get them at a price that's good for distribution. You can print 500, you can print 1,000, and you can have these comics as well to sell in a variety of places, whether it's a crowdfunder, an online site store, a convention, whatever it is. There's going to be no exclusive deals with Alterna distribution. You can just use this as a part of a larger whole in terms of where you're selling your comics. So right now with distribution, there's things that are great about it and things that are not so great. but they're not really bridging the gap between the burgeoning indie community right now and the indie industry. Essentially, it's because it's becoming so strong. It's becoming its own industry in a way, and there's no gaps that are being bridged. So Alterna Distribution is going to do that. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to start getting books in around maybe I'd say March, April 2020, and building up some inventory, and then announcing and launching the whole thing this time next year.
That is absolutely awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And once again, thank you for everybody that took time to sit here and watch. And some people have thrown in some great comments and questions. One thing too, before we go, it was asked. I don't know if you can answer this, Nerd Wonder. Paula Ritchie said, "What genre is your comic?"
Mine?
Well, the ash can would. I don't know if she's talking about the ash. She's talking about the ash can.
The ash can was kid friendly. It was very like I like making wholesome, cute things, so I was hired to make a very wholesome, cute comic, and that's what people like to do. I'm just not good at managing myself, writing and drawing at the same time. I think I get a little bit lost. So I'm helping out other people with their projects and also becoming maybe a co-creator in it.
There you go. So many hats. That's awesome.
Yeah, I gotta like from learning from writers. Maybe I'll be able to learn how to write my own.
Awesome. Absolutely amazing. Well, okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. As I said this, I'm going to repeat it one more time. Make sure you don't mind. Spread the word about AlternaWeen. It's got 4 days left. Let's help promote this. Let's help a legend in the comic industry. See, I'm calling you a legend already because, yes, you're a legend. You're making massive shifts and changes in comic books and bringing it back into more people's hands and getting them back to reading than ever probably than we've seen in a long time. So we thank you for that. And until next time, everyone, keep it frugal.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.